He is not here. He is risen, just as he said. These words form the basis for Easter and are the central hope of Christianity. Now that Christ has been risen from the tomb, we can be granted eternal life, just by our recognition that we were born into sin and live in sin until we ask for forgiveness, and we simply ask him to live in our hearts. The most amazing piece of news in the history of the world is delivered in this passage, Mark 16, 5 through 7. As they entered the tomb, they saw a young man dressed in a white robe sitting on the right side, and they were alarmed. "Do not be alarmed," he said. "You are looking for Jesus the Nazarene who was crucified. He has risen. He is not here. See the place where they laid him. But go, tell his disciples and Peter, he's going ahead of you into Galilee. There you will see him, just as he told you. He has risen. He is no longer dead, but he is risen from the grave and offers salvation to all."
The gates and doors were barred and all the windows fastened down. I spent the night in sleeplessness and rose at every sound. Half in hope of sorrow and half in fear the day would find the soldiers breaking through to drag us all away.
And just before the sunrise, I heard something at the wall. The gate began to rattle, and a voice began to call. I hurried to the window, looked down into the street, expecting swords and torches, and the sound of soldiers' feet. But there was no one there but Mary, so I went down to let her in. John stood there beside me, and she told me where she'd been. She said they moved him in the night, but none of us knows where. The stone's been rolled away, and now his body isn't there. We both ran towards the garden, then John ran on ahead. We found a stone and empty tomb, just the way that Mary said. But the winding street they wrapped him in was just an empty shell, and how or where they'd taken him was more than I could tell.
Oh, something strange had happened there, just what I did not know. John believed a miracle, but I just turned to go. Circumstance and speculation couldn't lift me very high, 'cause I'd seen them crucify him, then I saw him die. Back inside the house again, the guilt and anguish came. Everything I promised him just added to my shame. When at last it came to choices that night, I knew his name. And even if he was alive, it wouldn't be the same.
Suddenly the air was filled with a strange and sweet perfume. Light that came from everywhere drove shadows from the room. Jesus stood before me with his arms held open wide, and I just fell down on my knees and clung to him and cried. Then he raised me to my feet and I looked into his eyes. Love was shining out from him like sunlight from the skies. Guilt and my confusion disappeared in sweet release. Every fear I ever had melted